We got Season 1 dropping tomorrow in Black Ops 6, and with it we have a bunch of new things. New guns, new maps, new perks, new equipment, Warzone integration, ranked play, all sorts of things, man. And with it, I thought a good last video before it happens is a tier list. And behind this, there's also gameplay in case you have a low attention span and you don't want to just go over a tier list. I get that as well. But which weapons were the best and the worst on the game's launch? And if I get anything that you think is wrong, feel free to let me know in the comments, all right? And why? Don't just say, this gun's better or worse. Why? Why do you think it's better or worse? Because I'm going to give you a little bit of info on each one too, okay? Without further ado, let's start with the SMGs, shall we? And if you liked the video, like and subscribe, of course. My bad, of course. C9. This is a really good SMG. A tier. A tier. This is the MP5 essentially, right? The only downside of the C9 is it has low damage range, but the fire rate is very good and it does very good in the close range. So I think the C9 is a fantastic SMG. Maybe the best SMG, but it's on the threshold. We're going to say on the threshold. The KSV, B tier. KSV is similar to the C9, also pretty high fire rate, but it just has a little bit worse recoil, I feel like. I still like the gun a lot. It actually feels better on mouse and key because the iron sight of the KSV is a bit better than the C9, but that's just my take on that one. The Tanto, B tier. This gun is strong and it does have good damage range because it's a slow firing, heavier hitting SMG. But with slower firing weapons, the more that you miss, the more punished you are for it. So this is more of a controller weapon because if you miss a bullet on mouse and key, you get super punished. You're dying for sure. And even on controller, if you miss a bullet, you're usually going to die because the next shot is so slow behind it. So the Tanto, it's a B tier weapon. The PP919, I really liked this gun, not only because it was very good back in Modern Warfare 3, the original game, but also it has a huge ammo capacity. It lets you use fast mags to give you more mobility with it and still have a good ammo capacity even with it. It's like 40, 50 rounds still, because it has 80, I think it's like 70 or something otherwise. It's very good, A tier weapon for sure. Also very good because it's low recoil even without having a foregrip. And you can put rapid fire on it. So I mean, it's great. It's very good. The Tanto is also a little bit better with rapid fire too, but not enough to go up to the A category. Sorry. The Jackal PDW, A category. Gotta be. Obviously, this is the competitive go-to SMG. It's very low recoil. It was dominating the beta. If you guys played during that, it was nerfed a little bit overall, and rifles have been better. Not to mention with the bugs in the game, with Ninja and other things, SMGs haven't been that great in Search and Destroy, but still a very good gun. Compact, B tier. I don't think any SMGs are really C tier or lower. There's none that stood out as like unbelievably terrible. The Compact, I mean, it's maybe a little C tier-ish when you have no attachments, because it has 1,100 rounds per minute as the fire rate, but it is a very fast killing weapon in the close range. It just has a lot of damage drop off, but it's still very, very good in the close range. So if you're getting a really close range rush round off with like Payback or something like that, you're probably going to win the gunfight. So I think that's where the SMGs stack up. I don't think any SMG in the game ever reaches S tier currently, and that's because you're going to see what S tier actually is soon. Going into the LMGs, there's only 3 of them. They're actually very simple. I mean, it's just going to be like this. The PU-21 and the GPMG-7, I mean, they're not weak weapons, but they have the downside of it's an LMG. So the LMG handling is atrocious. It's so slow. On top of it being so slow, it's just not a very fast killing weapon in comparison to some of the other guns that are already higher mobility, like marksman rifles or even just regular rifles in the game. The XMG gets a B tier slot because the recoil is so slow or so low because it's just a bigger M4. It reaches the B tier slot, but even then, against a real M4, it's gonna lose usually. I mean, like maybe at long distance, if you're holding left trigger first, you might win, but moving around the map and playing the game, you're gonna lose the gunfight. This thing is just, it's like you're carrying a cannon with you, all of these guns. And that's probably a good thing. If you guys remember Vanguard, if you have LMGs with too high of mobility, which is what like that game did with the Whitley, it just ends up being an LMG game. I mean, you can shoot through all the walls, you have a million shots, it hits like a truck. What do you do? So, I think the LMGs being in the C and B tier range, pretty good for balancing them. You don't want to make them overpowered, but you don't want them to be F tier useless either. Marksman rifles, I mean, dude. The Tsarkov is a B tier gun, slow fire rate, but it can have the potential for the one-shot headshots. I like that a lot. It's fun. It's a good, like, DMR type weapon, but very slow fire rate. Going into the DM10, also a B tier. Can't one-shot, but does have a very good two-shot with a much higher fire rate, much higher. It's almost like B+, you know. I put it a little bit above the Tsarkov. The SWAT 556. Ooh, I mean, yo, D tier. It's a really bad free burst in this game. Not only is it just weaker than the AEK, but it also has a bigger burst delay, which is like the time between shots within the burst. So it's easier to miss like 1 or 2 bullets from the burst because people are moving. So, I mean, even with rapid fire, the SWAT's not that good. You might put it up to C tier, but probably not. AEK, S tier. Best gun in the game. Without rapid fire, it's still probably A tier, but with rapid fire, S tier. It's so good. I loved this gun, especially on controller, by the way. It's a little bit harder on mouse and key because the fire rate's really slow and you miss a bullet here and there, but controller, it was insanely good. And still love it now. I expect this gun to get nerfed tomorrow. I do. It's absurd. But I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm really happy to have a good burst gun. I'm hoping it's not a crazy nerf, just a little bit of a nerf to the rapid fire. That would be fine with me. Going into snipers, baby. SVD. I put this in the B tier category. This reminds me of the KV inhibitor. I think snipers in this game are a little rough at the moment, mainly because they don't seem to be accurate right when you aim down sight. It takes a second sometimes, which is weird, but I like the SVD. I like it a lot. Like I said, KV inhibitor was a good point and click gun on mouse and key. I think it's probably not as good on controller, but it goes in the B tier right now. Frostline, C tier. This thing, I hate this fucking gun. This is a shittier LR762, and we all know it. It's a bolt action that gets a lot more hit markers, but you need to level it up if you want to get some of the sniper sights, which is the only downside. You still got to use it. It's a C tier gun though, for sure. LR762, A tier. A tier sniper. As much as the snipers are kind of bad right now, not only because of the flinch, but also because of that weird not shooting straight once you're ADS'd, it is still a very good gun, and it is a one-shot almost all the time. With the right attachments, it's a top tier gun. No question. No question. Well, I mean, let's just be honest here. I'm gonna put knife down, and let's do a knife and baseball bat. Baseball bat, F tier. We all hate the baseball. This thing sucks. Knife, D tier. Even though the knife is a one hit, in this game, dude, they really nerfed the knives, and I think it was because of how good it was last year.
Enemy device is set.
I mean, dude, the knives were absurd in MW3 and MW2, I think. But I'm happy that they're not. We all get a knife now, and when you get shot holding your knife, you get aim punch, so you're like, you can't really get near the people as quickly or easily, which I also love. So, I'm happy to put those there. Leave them there. These weapons should be reserved for rushing and not trying to go for kills. That's my take.
Bomb defusal underway.
Okay. Let's also get some of these stuff out of the way. Launcher, F tier. Sigma, D tier. I mean, these things suck. These things suck. We all hate the launchers. They are what they are. They're not good for killing people. People doing the camo grind with these things, I'm sure, I will agree, they are terrible. I think the HE1 is supposed to be a lock-on right now, but it's not locking on. At least that's what the description says. That's weird or bugged or I don't know what. So the launchers, they're bottom tier weapons in the game. They are really pretty much only for killing UAVs and stuff like that. But even then, if you want to kill a UAV, you can shoot it with just about any gun and kill it so easily and so fast. It's not hard at all. So they're bottom tier weapons. Marine SP, man. Oh, this is a hard one. B tier. I'm gonna go B tier in the Marine SP. I'm actually gonna go both shotguns in the B tier. But you need rapid fire on the ASG. Without that, it's a C tier gun. It is. The Marine SP is okay. You have to ADS the gun. When it was bugged with the slug shotgun part of it, it was S tier. It was nuts. But it was not meant to be like that. So it's a B tier gun right now. And the ASG also B tier with rapid fire. It's fun. It's okay. This gun kind of resembles the Brecci, but doesn't shoot nearly as fast and doesn't shoot nearly as far. So, unfortunately, it will not make it into the A category. I'm hoping at some point they get a better shotgun into the game. It makes it a little bit easier for the mouse and key guys in the close range. I know a lot of people disagree with that and they hate that, but whatever. That's the truth of it. Let's do pistols before we go to the last little bit with the rifles, all right? The Strider, I think it's a C tier gun. For a pistol, it's average, middle of the road, not bad, not great. It's pretty good. But overall, this is like the competitive pistol, along with the 9mm. The 9mm I'd actually put in the B tier category. I think this is a really good pistol. It is very strong. It shoots pretty quickly. I think it's just a little bit better than the Strider. But maybe I'm just weird with that one. I liked it because it was the first pistol I was using, because it's the first one you unlock, leveled it up, and it did a lot of damage. Sometimes you get a headshot. So I was like, all right, cool. GS45, actually, I might put this in the A tier for pistols, only because it's a 2-shot, and because it is the best pistol in zombies. Like, it gets a little bit of a bonus boost from the zombies. The GS45, for the pistols at least, is an A tier pistol. I haven't used the Akimbo. It also has a decent ammo capacity, so it's not a bad gun. A little bit slow fire rate, but not terrible. The Grakova, B tier as well. Easy to use, full auto, right? It's not hard. It's pretty decent. I think it might be the best pistol underwater, which is a weird thing to say, but when you play Lowtown and people sit in the water with the Grakova, it's actually annoying. Like, it's annoying to deal with. So, I think that's how the pistols line up pretty well. The GS gets a boost because of zombies. Come on. We have to give it that, right? We got to give it that. And the LR is really good in zombies too, now that we say that, but what's the point? Last but not least, we got the rifles for the game. I mean, this is going to be pretty easy. M4. Ooh, I'm going to put it in the S tier. Right now. M4, I'm actually going to do this too. Boom. Boom. M4, Model L. Both S tier weapons. These are both full auto weapons. The difference is the M4 has more recoil, but it is a higher fire rate. The Model L is a lower recoil, more damage per bullet, easier to use at long distance for a full auto, but both of them are extremely good. And they nerfed all the rifles in the last update by 1 damage, maybe even 2 damage for some of them. These are still top tier weapons in the game. If you miss a bullet with the AEK, these will beat you. It's like, it just kind of happens. They're very, very good. First gun you unlock as well, top tier weapon. Model L, one of the like mid-tier weapons, but you actually had a blueprint for it, and I think the 2nd prestige or 3rd prestige. So you can start using it right off the rip when you prestige a game, which is cool. It's an STG. It looks like an STG. It's badass though. Love both those guns.
There's only one traitor left.
It'd be nice to see an SMG break into the S tier. Maybe with the new gun being released. I think there's a new SMG coming out, or there will be. There'll be an S tier SMG as well. AK-74, man, we're going B tier. We're going B tier. B tier is getting full. It's just, this has a lot of recoil, man, just like any normal AK. It's too much recoil that it makes it not the greatest rifle. And if you miss a bullet because of that recoil, you die. You get punished for it. So the AK, even though it's decently strong and has good damage range and good damage per shot, the recoil of it is rather punishing. So, not a huge fan of that. It's a B tier gun. It's maybe B plus, but yeah. The Ames, A tier. This is the competitive rifle. I think this is a decently good full auto rifle, but not as good as these two. It is 1 more bullet. Technically, I think the Ames and the GPR are the same damage, but the GPR is a C tier gun. And that's because this has way lower damage range and more recoil. I fucking hate this rifle. This thing sucks. It sucks, man. Not a fan of it at all. If there's any rifle that's worse than this, it would be the Goblin MK2. But I think the Goblin MK2 is equal to it. Goblin MK2 is a semi-auto. It is a decent, like, sprayable semi-auto weapon, but it is a weaker version of the DM10. And the DM10 got put up in the B category, so the MK2 has to go in the C category. It just has to. This gun is not. Both these rifles suck. I mean, people hate this one even more because it doesn't even one-shot, I guess, in hardcore, where this one does. But like, dude, holy, it sucks. It sucks. It's not good. It's not good. The last rifle, the whole category, is the Val, and it goes into the B tier as well. I know that's a weird thing to say because the Val, I'm sure, has a lot of fanboys from Modern Warfare 19. I used it, and sometimes you melt people with it, but a lot of times it just doesn't do what you need it to do correctly, if that makes sense. It's like it has the fire rate and the damage range of an SMG, but it has the handling of a rifle. So if you're trying to use it in the close range, the SMGs are just better because they have better handling. If you're trying to use it in the long range, it has not enough damage range like the AIMs or Model Ls, the XM4, or the AEK. It has a very big damage drop-off, and it has more recoil, so you can't really shoot a straight or long distance with it either. So it just doesn't do anything really well. It's stuck in that middle limbo category of like, I want to be an SMG, but I want to be a rifle, and I can't really do either. And that's where I think the guns sit right now. I think that's a pretty damn good list, honestly. If you have any objections, feel free to leave a comment, like I said, and let me know where you think I'm wrong. I think this is pretty good for the overall weapon balance of the game right now. A lot of B tier weapons, a few A tier, few S tier. It sucks there's no S tier sniper right now, I guess, but maybe they buff snipers or fix them a little. They don't even buff them. Just fix them so they're accurate when you ADS, and that would probably put the LR up into the S tier, really. Enjoy the video, the rest of it though. Thank you all for the love and support. I hope you guys enjoy the video tomorrow. I'm going to probably do a back-to-back upload because the new season comes out, and I want to use some of the new stuff and make a video over it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you did, and liking the video if you did, and enjoy the rest. Grab bomb and go A here. Easy plant. We got it.
I'm switching to pistols. I got this. Up close quarter combat. I'm ready.
Oh, Dad, you're good. You plant. You're fine.
Bomb plant in progress. Bomb is armed.
Yep.
There's only
This is the
one
last
traitor
round or no?
left.
Yeah.
Eliminate
Nope, one more round.
Oh,
So much shot at me.
all hostiles eliminated.
No, you didn't.
Messy work.
No, you didn't.
But we'll take
No,
it.
you didn't. That's not what we're about to see.
I got tomahawk, bro.
Didn't mean to do that. So dying.
I got all four in sight. We're good.
One fugitive remains. Terminate with extreme haste.
There was a guy here.
Disarming the
Hunting a
bomb.
shadow. I got him.
He went upstairs. He went upstairs.
Ha!
Nice.
They never stood a chance.
No kill.
Saved by the
Oh
bell.
no. Well, show what I did to him.
They gotta show
Oh
us
no.
what-
They don't get to show it. That's lame.
You took someone hostage?
Body
whole
shielded him
movie
and then
scene.
killed his whole team down there.
We did a whole
Watch
movie
that whole
scene.
thing happen?
That sucks.